Mainly dry and cloudy tonight. There may be some patches of mist or fog though. Lowest temperatures of 8 to 10 degrees. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
Hello there, you're welcome along to Wednesdays Off the Ball. We're busy this evening. We're going to be talking about the state of the Irish women's 15s game in rugby. Fiona Steed and former head coach Philip Doyle are going to give us their perspective on, well, what's been a poor time of late for the Irish team. Their worst Six Nations finish in 13 years. They're down to 10th in the world now. A first ever Six Nations loss to Italy. We'll see what Fiona and Philip make of what's going on. Keith Wood and Eddie O'Sullivan on Wednesday Night Rugby after 8 o'clock. On the football show, plenty of talk ahead of the international break. Ireland against Gibraltar on Saturday. We'll talk to Danny Higginbottom, Gibraltar's most famous player, certainly that we know of. He played for them towards the end of his career when he was 34 years of age, and he's going to join us in the football show and give us a sense of the place and the footballing culture. Kevin Kilbane is here. Hello.
Hi, Joe. I go as far as to say with that one. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I not say hi to Richie McCormack?
Yeah, that's wrong. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's wrong.
I'm not trying to steal Richie's
Billy
thunder
Big Time strikes again. It's all about you.
No, I wasn't. No.
Mr. TV comes in here on rare occasions.
There's only one Mr. TV in this studio
Do you mind if I acknowledge the other person in the room?
Sorry, you're right.
Sorry, Richie.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Richie.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Richie. Sorry about that.
No, go on, Kev. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that
This better be good.
Danny Higginbottom is the only Gibraltar player you've ever heard.
Well, that's true.
So yeah,
that is true.
There you go.
True. He was 34 years of age, Danny Higginbottom. Obviously, we know him from... He came through at United and then Sunderland, certainly played Premier League. 210 Premier League games in the end. Stoke as well, yeah. He was with Chester and 34 years of age when Gibraltar came calling. He qualified via his grandmother. Gibraltar had been struggling for a long time to successfully apply for UEFA membership. They tried in 99. Spain basically said, no way. Spain opposed this for a long time. They
still can't be drawn in the same group as Spain.
They can't.
Which is bizarre.
They can't. Well,
is that law still of the Eastern European sides as well, where
there is some involved where you can't
be in the group with
Serbia, is it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
Spain claim ownership of the territory. That's one. And then also they feared that if they let Gibraltar have its own team, then next around the corner would be the Catalan national football team.
Which still operates in some shape or form anyway.
Yeah, and the Basque national football team. The issue was voted on in 07. I didn't quite remember this. They voted on this again in 07. It was rejected in 1999. And only 3 member nations, England, Scotland and Wales, supported Gibraltar's bid because Spain threatened to withdraw Spanish teams from all UEFA competitions. That's how hard against this they went. So it was only in 2013 that they gained full UEFA membership, at which time they said to Chester's Danny Higginbottom, who qualified via his grandmother, come on in. So he went and played 3 games for them. And we'll talk to him on the football show about the whole experience. It seemed none of them had football boots with studs when they played their first ever game against Slovakia, because they don't have grass pitches there. Just Astro and Gibraltar. So when they were playing their first game in Faro, they had to go and buy some boots in the nearby shop.
Are they not playing on Astro in Faroe Islands as well? Are they not playing on Astro in the Faroe Islands?
Faro. No, Faro. In Faro, in the Algarve.
Yeah.
They were playing on grass there. So they got a 0-0 draw against Slovakia in their first ever game.
The Spain stance is bizarre because in Gibraltar like a territory of the UK.
Yes, very much so, yeah.
Whereas, Basque and, the Catalan regions are operational within Spain.
Was it another hostile takeover though, Rich? I don't know.
This is your way of trying to segue in a Partridge mention, isn't it?
No, not at all.
You've been angling for this for the past 18 hours.
Honestly, not
if not more.
No, I'm just...
Have we got
what the hell is that?
Have we got it standing by, Pete? No, we do. We played it earlier.
You've been banging on about it for the last day and a half.
Oh, God.
Which, to be fair...
It is the funniest thing. It's the funniest sketch, I think, that's...
Martin from Sligo is now a national hero.
My God, Martin Brennan from
Sligo is an absolute national treasure. I finally got around to watching the episode last night because it was unavailable on Monday for a TV viewing, and it is just superb.
Yeah.
Just, even beforehand, the piece where he's doing CPR.
I haven't watched the new series of Partridge. I haven't watched it, but I watched that, and God, it's just unbelievable.
It's been a beautiful slow build to what it's seemingly been a remarkable crescendo.
Come out, you black and tan, come and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Kilbane.
I will say this about him.
Oh no, hang on.
Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons. and every man should stand behind the men behind the wire. Come on, Simon!
It has to be a Martin spin-off, doesn't it? Honestly, the Kilbane household sang like this at breakfast. That's no joke.
That was grand.
That was mighty.
That was grand.
Honestly, that's the Kilbane household on a Saturday morning. Roof coming off the place. And again! You're going to play for England? No!
You're not
Who
allowed
do we
into,
hate? Declan Rice!
Oh God!
you're not allowed
true
into
story.
the Kilbane household unless you can sing three Wolf Tones songs start to finish.
My dad used to dress exactly like Martin Brennan as well. Exactly like Martin Brennan, honestly.
There's a lot of people looked at Martin Brennan the other night and went, that's fairly accurate.
Yeah, I know. I've met him several times. Yeah. If you've no idea what we're talking about, then
You talk to me.
get on to Partridge. Get on to Partridge ASAP. It's good. There were some standout moments.
Yeah.
The CPR. The CPR is
Sorry,
just beautiful.
We're not even going there.
Yeah.
At 8 minutes past 7.
Come on, Eileen.
No, not even going there.
Come on, Eileen.
There was one where he was having a sandwich halfway through during the ad break, and then she said, "Oh, Alan, you can't. It's multi-seed loaf. You won't be able to eat it in time." He's trying to get the egg sandwich eaten in time, and he doesn't quite get there. That's great stuff.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
Can we not? Come on.
Danny Higginbottom
Yeah.
is on the way. How do we get there? Gibraltar, that was it.
Yeah.
Gibraltar.
Hostile takeovers.
Hostile takeovers. So Danny Higginbottom will join us in the football show. We'll also get Kev to pick his starting 11 for the weekend. We'll go through the various bits and bobs. Newsround starts, interestingly, with Leo Varadkar.
Yeah, he's obviously been speaking a lot about Brexit today, what with Theresa May potentially addressing the UK tonight via TV, but the Taoiseach has described the loan given by the FAI Chief Executive to the association as a bit unusual. A number of FAI statements since the weekend, 4 in total, said the €100,000 loan was used in April 2017 as a means to ease a short-term cash flow issue. Sport Ireland last night called for an urgent clarification on the matter, and the Taoiseach says the FAI do indeed have questions to answer.
That, of course, is a matter for FAI, which is an independent body, has its own board. It does seem a bit unusual, a body of that size, given its operations and the funding it receives. I would have thought has banking facilities that would have provided for a loan. And I know that Sport Ireland and the Joint Committee of the Oireachtas will want to ask some questions about that as to why that came about.
I suspect they will. It is quite funny when the Taoiseach of the country is saying, I presume the FAI have banking facilities. I would presume they do.
The timing of the Oireachtas hearing is now pretty hilarious, given the fact that it was kicked down the road, as far as I know, at least twice, and that April was the date where everything was going to be squared off and they were going to be able to appear in front of it, and then this story appears on the horizon and suddenly that becomes a little bit more spicy.
Yeah. Kevin is the only one who pronounces Gibraltar correctly, a silent last or, as in Gibraltar, Jack and Santry. No.
Gibraltar. It's probably just my accent, I would think.
I'd say it's just your accent.
Yeah.
Someone says, aha, Richie's back on Twitter. Is that
Oh,
true?
yeah?
It's true.
You told me you were off for good.
Ah, yes. Come on.
I'm on but purely whoring myself on there.
Oh, yeah?
There's absolutely nothing of consequence on there.
Oh,
whatsoever.
is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That won't last.
I will.
You get sucked in, you get sucked
Right,
into
yes,
debates.
don't.
You're not.
No debates, no nothing. It's going to be a boring follow from here on in, kids.
I give it a week. Are you back as your old person? Did you suspend your previous account? Are you back?
Deactivate it, yeah.
So you know you've kept all your followers and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not for long.
People waiting patiently for
Not for
Richie
long.
McCormack to come back on.
They will jump the ship like the sinking Titanic.
Why did you come back on? Why did you reopen
Literally
yourself to
pure
this
whoring.
awfulness?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I was putting up links to like shows that I'd done and stuff
Okay.
like that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Self-promotion.
Yeah.
The Ireland squad, we're speaking today, Matt Doherty.
Yeah, the squad continued their preparations today in Abbottstown. Matt Doherty saying he's willing to play in any position for his country. The Wolves wing back. Club form has led some to suggest he should replace Ireland captain Seamus Coleman on the right side of the defence. A more advanced role for the former Bohsman against Gibraltar has also been mooted, and it's something Doherty believes himself that he can manage.
I said earlier, if that's the way it is, I'm going to have to adapt. I mean, if I want to be successful, I can't just expect to everywhere I go to be like Wolves. It's just not going to be the case. I'm just going to have to get used to what my role is here or wherever the role is, and try and play as well as I can in that role, and do the best for Ireland.
Well, not to have too many spoilers for Kevin Kilbane picking his first 11 on the football show, but you have Doherty in as left fullback.
Oh yeah, I think that's I know Enda Stevens there as well, but I just think I prefer to get more the attacking players playing in midfield and wide areas. I think Robbie Brady on the right hand side would be better. That's only personal preference on it. Yeah.
I know he's played there before, obviously at left full. Is he strong enough on his left side to get down outside the left winger and whip one in with his left foot?
That probably wouldn't be... when you've got James McLean in front of you, James McLean is a lot more direct than that. So I think he could play a good supporting role, and that's why maybe I would suggest that going with Brady on the other side would suit Coleman. I think you'd have a balanced side where Coleman could overlap well. Robbie Brady naturally coming inside into his left foot.
Yeah. On
the left-hand side, then you've got a fullback that would be more of a supportive role, because he would naturally want to come in onto his right foot and look to play into one of the two strikers or something. So that's where...
Having James McLean
midfield. I'd start James McLean, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You wouldn't?
No.
Who would you start on the left-hand side?
I'm just going with what I've heard so far from that squad from this week, and the suggestion would be that Doherty's going to be playing in a more advanced role on the right, and if that opens up a position on the left-hand side of midfield, I would presume that Robbie Brady's probably the most suited to slot in there.
Yeah.
And you've got another two in midfield. I think the front two is going to be any two of McGoldrick, Collins and Maguire, probably McGoldrick and Collins. So I just don't see where McLean fits into that, and I don't think his club form warrants a place in the starting 11. Nor his international form, to be honest, either.
Brady's not been playing as well at Burnley, so you could make that argument for him as well. I think Robbie Brady has been a key player for set pieces, especially over the last couple of campaigns. So he would naturally say to me that he's got to be starting this game. There's a number of options, a number of things that people would agree and disagree with on it. Ultimately, when he picks his side, there's got to be issues over Sean Maguire playing the two games over the in such a short space of time as well.
Yeah.
That's why maybe James Collins could be getting a start in one or the other game.
Meanwhile, the French are looking Ronan O'Gara's way.
Yeah, apparently so. They're interested in adding O'Gara to their coaching ticket for this year's World Cup. L'Équipe say French rugby chiefs are keen to add to their backroom team following a disappointing Six Nations, with the name of Fabien Galtier also in the running. O'Gara currently works with Crusaders, of course, and has experience of working in France as a defence coach with Racing. A debrief on France's fourth place finish in this season's Six Nations began today, running until Friday, which will also see them considering potential additions to that coaching staff.
Why, if you were Ronan O'Gara, would you jump into that mess?
It's only going to be temporary.
Coaching career is ticking along beautifully. You're at the Crusaders, things are going just fine.
Is there not a lot of talent?
Why would you expose yourself to that?
From what I've been hearing through the Six Nations, so much talent there, not necessarily being harnessed in the right way.
He won't be overseeing the whole picture, though, and then he'll be guilty by association. It's still going to be an absolute mess.
Are they not
adding him to their backroom team?
Right.
So he's not going to be running the show, but he'll be guilty by association.
He'd be in charge of like Emile Entebach and the other halves in that squad for the World Cup.
I don't know. I'd be surprised.
But you can kind of see the perverse logic in it. If Bernard Laporte is essentially running that show and was doing for the last couple of games the way we thought he was, which was he was basically in charge and delegating certain aspects of the coaching to other people. Like, it would make sense that he would be again in charge for the World Cup and then delegating to really experienced people like Galtier and O'Gara.
Would you just say, Rich? Would you, if he was off the top job, would that be more of an interest? Would you think there's something to seriously build here? Yeah,
so much talent.
Yeah,
if you could get a hold of that group properly, what he could do with that group, I'd say, would be very interesting. Proper structures, proper coaching, so much talent.
Yeah.
The Irish under-19s were playing?
They were indeed, and a good result for them today as well. They began the elite phase of their Euro qualifying group in Krasnodar with a 5-0 victory over Romania. 2 goals for Southampton duo Will Smallbone and Jonathan Afolabi each. Tom Onside next meeting Azerbaijan on Saturday. The Azeris drew 0-0 with the group hosts Russia today. The Republic of Ireland women's under-17s have got their elite phase of the Euro qualifying campaign underway as well. There was a 5:30 start in Edinburgh, where it's currently Ireland 1, Norway 1. It was an early goal, not an early goal, the goal 20 minutes from time from Rebecca Cook that gave Ireland the lead. Just 2 minutes later, though, Jocelyn Favre-Reeves equalised for the Norwegians. Paul Pogba says Raheem Sterling was right to question the media's portrayal of black players. The City forward suffered alleged racial abuse against Chelsea back in December and claimed afterwards that some newspaper reports had helped to fuel racism. Pogba, speaking today, says that black players do seem to get treated differently by elements of the media.
Well, sometimes it happens. I think Raheem Sterling, with all these stats from last year and everything he done, nobody talks about it like we should, I think, because he has, you would say, ridiculous stats. He's been scoring goals. He made a hat-trick not a long time ago again. He been top with City. And what I've been seeing is criticized and stuff about houses and what I hear, things about that. But nobody talks about what he's been doing on the pitch. They talk about it, but not how he should. Maybe if it was somebody else, it would be different.
Somebody else. Where was the context of this?
He sat down with Sky ahead of the French games this week.
Okay.
So essentially, there was a lot of stuff about
Sky
should Solskjaer be kept on, etc., etc.
But Sky, I think Sky must have had a bit of an agenda as well to ask about this, because they asked Danny Rose about it as well within the English squad about it as well.
They've been doing a series of programs on Sky Sports. I'm not sure if it's on the main channels, but definitely on Sky Sports News. Dion Dublin was fronting one of them. They've done a lot on the issue of racism within football over the last, especially 2 months.
Well, I saw today there's a Sheffield United women's player that has been banned. I think she got a 5-game ban.
She's retired as a result of it.
Retired, yeah.
I've got the stuff. Sophie Jones retired from football at the age of 27 after being given a 5-game ban for racially abusing Tottenham's Renee Hector. She says she's not guilty of the charge. She says it was a kangaroo court essentially that handed down this ban. She was fined £200,000 and ordered to attend an FA education course, and her contract with Sheffield United was mutually terminated. She's come out against that ban, as I say, retiring, saying that it was a kangaroo court that had convicted her, and the FA themselves say they're going to release their own written reasons in the coming days as to why that happened, but they obviously stand by the formation of that disciplinary panel.
Okay, interesting story. Someone says, Kevin, for God's sake, can we please stop saying Robbie Brady is brilliant at set pieces? He's not. 1 in 20 is brilliant. The other 19 hit the first man.
I don't agree with that. And I think he delivered. I'd seen him the other week, actually. I saw him at Newcastle. Burnley were terrible in the game. Robbie Brady came on with about 20 minutes to go, and immediately his delivery, he put 2 right on the money. And I'm not saying that's the reason why he should be in the team. I think he's a talented player. I was with Robbie at Hull. I think he's a brilliantly talented footballer. As I was with Jeff Hendrick when I was at Derby, coming towards the end of my career as well. These lads get criticised, maybe rightly so, because the performances haven't been consistent enough, but those two, with the ability they have, should be starting every game, and they should be showing it a bit more consistently.
Robbie Brady strikes me as one of those players who's actually going to flourish under the McCarthy regime.
I hope so,
for the first time in a decade, the regime isn't governed by somebody who says, you're not good enough to do X, I'm going to have you do Y, which is what it was under both Trapattoni and O'Neill. Whereas this time around, McCarthy seems to be more arm around the shoulder, this is what I'd like you to do, and we'll take it from there. So, fingers crossed. These are more positive.
I think all coaches, though, don't they, start off with the best of intentions in that regard. Martin O'Neill, when he first got the job, talked up the players more and said there's lots of good players and we can do stuff. And then when defeats start happening, even against your better judgment, even though you know you shouldn't be doing it, before you know it, you're 5-6 games in and you're saying, well, look, in fairness, we haven't got world beaters.
I don't think it
because
took
the
5-6
media
games.
are coming at you.
I don't think it took 5-6 games for O'Neill, and it definitely didn't for Trapattoni. It was one of the first utterances saying he knows he's a
I think that was definitely...
Trapp was more of that opinion. Yeah. I don't think O'Neill, in fairness, started off that way, but they got there. They sure got there in a big way. So, Six Nations for next year has been announced.
Andy Farrell's first Six Nations game in charge of Ireland will see Scotland visit the Aviva on February 1st of next year. The fixture list for the next pair of seasons were released today, and Ireland's final game of next year's campaign will be away to France. That's on March 14th. Grand Slam champions Wales will begin the defence of their title at home to Italy. The 2021 season begins away to Wales and concludes with the visit of England to the Aviva. While the proposed merger of Ospreys and Scarlets is now officially off the table, the announcement came today from the Welsh Professional Rugby Board, and it also puts an indefinite hold on plans to establish a new team in the north of Wales. The PRB, which runs the professional rugby game, says Cardiff Dragons, Ospreys and Scarlets will continue to represent Wales in the Pro 14 and the European competitions.
It's a much better Six Nations schedule for Andy Farrell next year than they had this year. I never liked the look of this year's one. The schedule just didn't favour them anyway. Italy as the middle game is just a waste of 2 good rest weeks. You know, it really is. So they have Scotland at home, that's a nice start, and then you've Wales at home the following week, and then you've this gap week and England in that middle week, which you can really gear up for. And then your last 2, Italy at home, very straightforward, and then you got your 6-day turnaround to France away for the Grand Slam.
That's what it should be, shouldn't it? Proper order resumed.
You said it, Kev.
It's going to be a different squad he's got to work with.
Oh yeah,
There are going to be players come. Like I don't think Best and O'Brien are going to be alone after the World Cup.
The last few weeks has taught us anything. It's let's not get ahead of ourselves, I think.
Well, there you go.
We'll talk to Keith and Eddie O'Sullivan on Wednesday Night Rugby.
Cork are going to be without their top scorer as they aim to retain their place in Division 2 of the Allianz Football League this weekend. Luke Connolly will miss Sunday's crucial game away to Armagh through injury. The Nemo Rangers forward has scored 18 points for Cork this term, with 12 of those coming from frees. Goalkeeper Micheál Martin is also out, while midfielder and captain Ian Maguire is set to be a major doubt. Cork need a win at the Athletic Grounds, and they also need to hope that Tipperary takes something from their game with Clare if Cork are to stay in the second tier. Sticking with matters, Cork and their hurlers and those of Kilkenny will meet in a fundraiser for former Rebels footballer Kieran O'Connor. The 2010 All-Ireland winner is suffering from a rare type of cancer called Ewing's sarcoma. Porky Rinn will host the game. It's on Wednesday, March 27th. It has a 7:30 throw-in time, with tickets €10 for adults, €5 for kids, and over €300,000 has been raised so far by the Friends of Kieran O'Connor.
Yeah, it's been an amazing response, hasn't it, to Graham Canty's article and the subsequent efforts. You wish him well. It's been really heartening, and I'm sure unbelievably difficult time still for Kieran O'Connor and his family. Martin in Dublin.
I don't like the way you've sided.
I know the way that he started this, so you know something's coming.
Brace yourself, Kev.
Yeah.
What time is it?
Oh God.
How many minutes for this can of worms? Martin in Dublin. Lads.
No.
Did you see
Oh God.
Declan Rice's interview on Sky?
You didn't have to, Joe.
I don't always agree with Kevin. Who does? But my blood was boiling. Rich, we'll move on, I think. Kev's blood was boiling. Got a phone call today. We have to talk about this tonight. We have to talk about it.
He's going to start singing "Come Out You Black and Tans" again. He's going to go all Martin Brennan from Sligo.
Well, yeah. You listen to him. He's English, isn't he? You listen to him. His accent tells you he's English. There you go.
Do you know, honestly, my overall sense watching it was, in fairness to Declan Rice, he struck me as someone a bit in over his head here. Very young. I don't think he's at a point in his life where he's able to verbalise the nuances of nationality or where he's come from.
But his statement.
I was surprised
Joey's statement.
surprised that the FA had him doing this interview.
Yeah,
they should have protected him. I don't think he strikes me as somebody who should be out trying to talk about this, because he just is going to make a mess of it.
Yeah, maybe. But his statement the other week that he released, he was to say that he's very proud of being dual nationality, and he's very proud of his heritage. Mm-hmm. Was that on the lines?
But I mean, we obviously know he didn't write that.
Did he not? Not?
What are you getting at here?
I don't know.
I don't think you know either.
I don't know. A lot of people have taken advantage of the rule. Apparently, Gareth Southgate said as well. Loads of people have taken advantage of the rule.
Like you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a suggestion, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
Wilfred Zaha.
That's a suggestion. There you go, Rich. Yeah, loads of people have taken advantage.
There was a good
of
article of Bernie
Yeah.
Renee today in the Guardian that's like basically outlines how many people of dual nationality are lining up in the underage system for England at the moment, and that it's something that they're going to obviously deal with further down the line.
Loads of people had a choice to make. Loads of people had a choice to make, Rich.
People do have a choice to make out.
Did they? Yeah. I didn't, Rich.
I know you didn't.
There you go. Then.
But you're there singing "Men Behind the Wire," at 9 in the morning over your cornflakes.
Am I really?
According to him, you are, yeah.
Yeah.
That's slanderous. See, let's say.
I actually would say it's 100%. Did it not strike you watching the interview with Rice? It's done with FA television, so it's like it's in-house. It's propaganda.
He should have been put in that position. He shouldn't have been put in that position.
Because I don't think, in fairness to him, he struck me as very, very, very young and uncomfortable talking about it, and he really wasn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Look, you want to be fair to the fella.
I think he's lying. I think he's lying on. Look, listen to me, hear me talking. I'm English. That was definitely a little bit contrived and something that has been said to him. I'm convinced of that, because I don't think that would have been in his mindset to say that. I think that's something that's been relayed to him a few times.
He's practiced it.
Yeah, that was my initial feeling from it anyway. I think it was a little bit contrived and something that he's thought about because it's been said to him. That's what I thought anyway.
I think despite the softball nature of the interview, it was a little bit clumsy on his behalf.
Oh, massively clumsy.
You don't want to be unfair to him. So you kind of want to choose your words correctly. I think he should have been protected. I don't actually think.
I wouldn't have had him do an interview this week on those
to be out there doing it. He's just, he's in over his head on this one.
I absolutely understand there's a desire for exciting young players to be interviewed by the in-house setup, and to have them put out there a little bit. But I think from England's point of view and from Rice's point of view himself, he would have been better saying nothing this week at all.
That's my point. I was shocked they did this. He's nothing to gain, everything to lose here.
Yeah.
Just head down, keep quiet. The last thing you should be doing
Play
is
football.
Exactly. Talking about how proud you
What
are.
happens if he goes out and has a muck game against the Czech Republic? You know,
Regardless,
He's Irish then, isn't he?
the last thing he should have been doing was out there telling me how proud he is and bursting with pride and all that stuff. I was amazed that, you know.
No.
Anyway, thanks for that, Martin and Dolan.
Yeah.
Martin's like,
No, it's Martin and Dolan.
Martin's on the money there. Fair play, Martin.
So, last story or two.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is the latest Liverpool player to pull out of this week's Euro 2020 qualifiers. The Liverpool full-back is withdrawn from England's squad for those games we mentioned with the Czech Republic and Montenegro as he returns to the Premier League leaders for treatment on a back injury. Xherdan Shaqiri withdrew from the Swiss squad for their games with Georgia and Denmark due to what the Swiss doctors have called an inflammation of the pubic region, while Andy Robertson misses Scotland's game away to Kazakhstan tomorrow due to dental surgery. It's a list of excuses right there.
There you go.
Dave Burgess says, I see Dan McDonald was on the BBC with Chappers last night. It's like Declan Rice all over again at OTB Terrace.
I heard that. I listened to it. Dan was very good.
Dropped us like a hot potato to get on with Chappers. Yeah. Hi, Mark. Great to be on. Big fan.
I got a text from Dan in the afternoon to tell me, like, you know, delighted. I'm going over to be on BBC 5 Live. Yeah, delighted with himself. He was.
Yeah, I'd say he was.
Yeah.
What was he talking about? John Delaney?
No, didn't mention. It came up in the conversation, but it was more about Mick returning and things like that. Yeah.
Who the hell is that?
Very good. That's the news round done for this evening. Am I mentioning our roadshow?
What the hell is that?
No, we'll do it later. Okay, short break. We're talking next to Philip Doyle. He's the former head coach, Grand Slam winner of the Irish women's rugby team in 2013, led the team to the World Cup semi-final in 2014, and to Fiona Steed as well, who has 62 caps for Ireland, because something's not right with the 15s game in Irish women's rugby. They're down to 10th in the world rankings now. They've fallen behind Spain. First ever Six Nations loss to Italy, their worst Six Nations in 13 years. There is a sense that the 15s game has been abandoned. So we'll talk to Philip Doyle and Fiona Steed next.
Off the Ball on News Talk.
Want peace of mind with your next car purchase? Done Deal's new manufacturer-approved car ads give you warranties, roadside assist, and so much more. Find your next car with Ireland's largest selection of manufacturer-approved car ads. Done Deal. Discover and drive.
Remember last year when the sun split the stones? This time, be ready, make your garden your home. The Azalea 6-seater garden dining set was $1,999, now $1,399 at Casey's. Invite your friends, relax and recline. The days will be longer, the evenings divine. The Porto Lounge set for 4 was $1,279, now $899 at Casey's. Soak up stunning reductions on garden furniture at Casey's of Cork, Limerick and online at caseys.ie with fast nationwide delivery.
The excitement builds. A new era begins as the Republic of Ireland take on Georgia in a crucial UEFA European qualifier, Tuesday, March 26th at the Aviva Stadium. Come show your support for Mick McCarthy's first home game back in charge, as the boys in green look to qualify for Euro 2020. The Republic of Ireland versus Georgia, March 26th, Aviva Stadium, kick-off 7:45pm. Get your tickets now from just €35 at ticketmaster.ie. Booking fee applies.
Gather with the energy experts. Your competitors are at the SEAI Energy Show RDS Dublin, March 27th and 28th. This is a free event for energy professionals and business leaders keen to learn about the latest sustainable energy solutions. It features top-class exhibits, seminars and technology demonstrations along with key networking opportunities. Register today at seai.ie/energy show. SEAI, your energy matters. This is an initiative of the Government of Ireland.
La mer.
Summer in France is calling. Sail in style direct from Dublin to France.